My name is Erika. こんにちは、エリカです。Hey, エリカ. The Japanese community in Sweden is not that big. Like everyone knows everyone in some way. When in Japan, women going to the gym, it's mostly for weight loss and to become as small as possible. So when a woman goes to the gym, they usually hop on the treadmill. If you lift weights, that tends to become more your whole identity. It's like, oh, she lifts weights.
This is Erika. You're half Swedish, half Japanese, and you live in Tokyo. So we wanted to start talking about her and what she does here. You speak 3 languages.
Yes.
English, Japanese, and Swedish.
Yes. My name is Erika. I am right now in Tokyo and I work as a fitness instructor or fitness coach, as well as other things. A word that I don't like that much, entrepreneur, but I do a bunch of things. I create apps and websites and direct shoots and also fitness instructing, etc. こんにちは、エリカです。今東京に住んでて、で、パーソナルトレーナーもやってますし、自営業、やってます。アプリ作ったり、ウェブサイト作ったり、クリエイティブダイレクティングとかもしてます。Hej, jag heter Erika och just nu bor jag i Tokyo. Jag jobbar som PT och jag gör väldigt många saker i Tokyo, till exempel gör hemsidor, appar, regisserar bilder eller kampanjer och fotografier och olika videos.
You were born in Germany, I think you said, right?
Yes, I'm born in Germany. Lived there for 2 years, and then when I was 2, I moved to Japan or Tokyo, and then lived in Tokyo for 2 to 3 years-ish, and then I moved to Stockholm.
When did you come back to Japan to start living here?
Around 9 years ago.
Okay, so you've seen Japan change a lot in the last decade.
I've seen a lot, yeah.
You've seen a lot.
It sounds like a very terrible thing, but I've seen change.
Okay, so we can get a lot of insight from you, but I wanted to learn a little bit about, so I've never talked to, actually, I feel like you're the first half Swedish person, Japanese, that I've spoken to.
Yeah, there's not a
ever.
lot.
What was it like growing up half Japanese, half Swedish in Sweden? Was it, were there a lot of Japanese people? What's the Japanese community like there?
The only Japanese people because I went to Japanese school, as many do abroad, that are half Japanese or full Japanese. I went to Japanese school like once a week, like every Saturday. So I had like a couple of Japanese friends. The classes were really small, so like 10 people-ish. So I had a few Japanese friends, and the Japanese community in Sweden is not that big, but when you know people, you know quite a lot of Japanese. Like everyone knows everyone in some way.
Right.
Yeah.
And Sweden is, I mean, wow, hold on, I'm very American here. Capital is Amsterdam, right? Oh my God. Hold on.
Stockholm.
Oh, wait, okay.
Amsterdam is Holland. What's it called?
Jesus. All right.
It's
It's blending together. So Stockholm.
Yes.
I'm going to leave that in there.
Yeah.
But it's Stockholm, American education.
It's the same continent though.
Same
it's Europe.
Wow. Okay. So Stockholm, I mean, it's the main city, biggest city, but being from the States, like there's a lot of Japanese pockets around the US, but some places have like no Asian population. Some it's a lot, like Hawaii or Los Angeles. Would you say that there is anything like that in Stockholm where it's like just this large Japanese community, or is it still very, very small?
It's quite small.
Okay.
I would say it's quite small, and it's not like Hawaii where they have this huge Japanese community, because Sweden doesn't have that, like the history of Japanese immigrants or anything like that. So I think it's pretty small.
I also just wanted to know, like, what was the school life there like as mixed Japanese? Were other friends interested in that, or did they not care?
I had I didn't have that much friends in school growing up. I had a few close ones.
Back lore. Wait, well, you didn't have friends.
Yeah.
Why didn't you have friends?
I don't know. I felt 'cause I was very shy. So actually, when I was around, I don't know if I was shy or if it was some type of growing up thing or moving around thing. But when I was like just came to Sweden, I didn't talk at all. Like when I went to school, I could speak Swedish fluently. I could speak Japanese fluently, but I would in school. I think in Sweden we start school when we're 7, so it's like pre-Ichinense, and from 7 to Ichinense, first grade, second grade, all I did was nodding and did this. I was a weird kid.
You were the
Yeah.
first.
And then suddenly I started talking. But so my closest friends I spoke to, but I wouldn't speak to the other ones. But they were very interested in Japanese or Japan as a culture, because they would come to my place and my mom would cook like Japanese food, and then I would teach them some Japanese. And then every time I go back, because I went back to Japan once a year to visit like relatives, so I always brought back omiyage. And then they were like so happy and curious about like this country that they've never really heard about before.
What were some of their favorite snacks? Do you remember?
There's this thing. It's really random. I don't even know if it's like it's supposed to be a classic Japanese snack, but it's like a lollipop. What is it, like sugar candy with strings? It's like a bag, and then there's a bunch of different colored like hearts and stars candy. They were like loving that for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up in the US as well, like I would get care packages sent from my aunt or grandma, and I think most kids really liked haichu.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, now haichu is actually pretty commonly sold in the US and stuff.
Yeah, same in Sweden. And
really?
Poke.
Yeah, poke.
Yeah,
it's
poke
not
and
cool
haichu.
anymore. It's nothing special
nice.
anymore. Now you have to find the more obscure stuff.
Yeah, what do we find? Natto.
Natto. I do like natto. Do you like natto?
I love natto.
Okay, you're Japanese.
I ate natto today.
You did. You know, since we're talking about fitness too, natto was my protein of choice in my early 20s because it's so cheap.
Yeah, it is cheap.
It's cheap here. It's kind of expensive abroad.
Yeah.
I think like it's like at least $5 or something in America.
I think it's the same in Sweden.
Yeah, but it's like less than 100 yen here.
No,
so
it's like what? And when I go to Sweden, I crave natto.
Really?
But I feel like it's a waste to go and buy natto when, you know, for that price.
It's just so funny how like natto always comes up somehow in conversation
I know.
when you're talking about Japan.
Yeah, it's like, do you like fermented beans?
And they're like, I've given it to some friends. They've literally just like spat it out.
Oh yeah, I've given it to every time I have friends coming over or coming to Japan. I make them eat it.
Do they like it?
Some of them do actually.
Yeah. But and I can't eat it on rice because it's just like too much. Like mushiness.
Never.
I don't know.
Yeah, I relate.
Okay, so you can relate.
Just the natto.
Yeah, natto. This
so
I know. So no, I just remember like I would go to like my not oba-chan or like my oji-san, like my uncle would always be like, "Hey, can you eat natto? Natto. Taberenda. Oh, sugoi." I'm like, "Sugoi." I'm like, I'm half Japanese.
Yeah, like I am. That's also a thing. It's when you do something or like something Japanese, they're like, "Oh, sugoi" in Japan. And I'm like, "But I am Japanese." Or like when they, "Why do you speak Japanese?" It's because I'm Japanese.
And they're like, "No, you're not."
No, you're not.
I mean, this is the most classic like being mixed Japanese and Japan thing. And I think the funny thing is though, you know, we're both kind of like raised abroad, half Japanese, right?
Right.
So compared to the people who do live in Japan and were born and raised here, I do feel like less Japanese than them.
I know.
For sure.
Yeah.
But also, you know, they get kind of treated the same exact way. So then I feel more like actually like more, I feel more for them because this is their country that they were born and raised in. That's and to be treated kind of the same way that I do as someone who is born and raised in America. It's like, oh, yeah, that does kind of suck.
Yeah, that's true. No, but if you grew up in another country, like you are culturally a little bit different. Whereas for them, just like they grew up here, but just because they look different, people just push them away from their culture or like say you're not Japanese. For like I understand because I feel culturally maybe more Swedish. So I understand if I don't know, if I dress or if I move different, I don't know. To
move
Japanese.
Different. You mean like your gestures?
Yeah, I don't gesture, talk with my hands.
Yeah. So I know on this podcast, I'm always asking other people to spill their tea, but today, not only am I going to share some of my tea with you, I'm going to drink it too. Guys, I'm genuinely excited to tell you that today's sponsor is Oi Ocha. Oi Ocha is a tea by Itoen, and this is a tea that has been around since as long as I was a kid and before. And if you've ever been to Japan, I'm sure you've seen this at a Conbini. Oi Ocha is Japan's #1 tea brand, and they source only the best premium tea leaves, which offers a pure and refreshing flavor. Oi Ocha is also very healthy, so if you're being inspired by watching this video about fitness, you gotta try yourself some Oi Ocha tea. It's only got 5 calories and has 100% of your daily dose dose of vitamin C. Itoen is also offering people who are watching this video right now a special discount of 10% of anything on their website. 10% if you just use my code MaxDCapo10. Also, I want to make sure that you guys subscribe to Itoen's YouTube channel, which is right here. Do this so that you can keep up with all their products, which includes green tea, matcha, and all sorts of other things that I'm sure you've seen. Taste Japan in every sip and enjoy the unsweetened, authentic Japanese tea from Itoen. Let's talk more about fitness and training. Something fun. Your clients are they mostly women, or do you have a mix of both men and women?
50-50.
50-50.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, though, I did want to talk about female fitness culture in Japan because I think it's still growing slower than maybe the rest of the West.
Yeah, definitely.
What can you talk about female fitness culture or just lifting in general in Japan for women?
This is a pretty obvious thing, I think, or people know about it, probably abroad too. But nowadays, I don't know if you've heard about muscle mommies.
Yes, I know a muscle mommy.
So there's a
muscle. Are you called a muscle mommy?
No, I'm too small for that.
Yeah.
I wish.
You're too soft for that?
I'm too small.
Oh, small.
I wish
small.
I had, you know.
Okay.
No, but for example, so that's like out abroad or non-Japan, not in Japan. It's very trendy to have muscles. Not for everyone, of course. Everyone has their own taste. But in Japan, women going to the gym, it's mostly for weight loss and to become as small as possible. So when a woman goes to the gym, they usually hop on the treadmill or something like that. Whereas in, I don't know, at least in Sweden, most of the girls, they train. And gym is, it's almost weird to not have a gym membership. When in Japan, it's more like if you lift weights, that tends to become more your whole identity. It's like, oh, she lifts weights, or he lifts weights. If you're a little bit buff, you lift weights. You're like this person who lifts weights. So I think the same with becoming as small as possible, being as thin as possible because of the culture and people's eyes on you here.
Do you feel like that's changing? Because I mean, you're in it right now. Do you feel like more women are coming over to the gym side?
Yeah, I think so. I see more and more women coming to the weightlifting side, because I remember when I signed up for the gym here, was it 9 years ago or 8 years ago, there was no one in the gym, like the weight training area, and there was a few girls running on the treadmills, but mostly men. And then I used to get comments like from the people, it was so weird that they would even comment on it, like, oh, you lift weights, I've never seen a girl lift weights before, la la la. But here or now it's way more common. I see more girls lifting, but of course it's like, I don't know, 20% girls, 80% men on a good day.
I wanted to bring this up just because I know a lot of women are abroad in the West kind of talk about like being approached by men in the gym to like talk and like maybe get hit on. Does that happen in Japan as well, or is everyone mostly silent?
They're mostly silent, but that's also the whole culture thing, because on the streets abroad, they come up to you, they catcall you. Here they stare a lot. And so
what's worse?
Yeah, I rather have someone talk to me than stare.
That's actually funny.
No, it's really that there's a lot of creeps in the gym.
Oh, really?
Here, yeah.
Oh,
and they look in such... Because now I train at more of a bodybuilder gym, so they stare less. But if you go to a regular, like the gyms that are in the coop, they're local gyms, everyone is staring like they've never seen a girl in training, like lifting weights before.
Yeah, but have they ever like talked to you and been like, hey, what are you doing here?
Not really. It's mostly foreigners in the gym that talk to me.
Okay.
So I don't think actually I've ever had a Japanese guy coming up to talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's actually, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but for people listening, if you are a woman and you want to train in the gym, most likely you won't get catcalled, it looks like.
Yeah, you're fine. It's like people make it sound like it's more scary or uncomfortable than it actually is. Of course, it would be great if nobody stared at us, and it would be great if I could do whatever I want in the gym without anyone, I don't know, thinking, oh, something, she's a girl. But it's a very safe place, and there's always girls around. There's female trainers, and wear whatever you want. And yeah.
I always feel like Japanese gyms though are kind of like, all right, there's two things that I feel about, and we can talk about this. It's almost like too quiet for me. Like there's not enough like energy.
Right.
Like I'm somebody who kind of benefits from like the energy around. So if people are like saying like, let's go, you know, or something, I'm like, okay, now I can lift. But
yeah, that's so true.
it's very quiet. People have their notebooks out,
Yeah.
like writing. Everyone has a notebook.
Everyone has a notebook.
And like, I think that's like, I can respect that, but I also just don't know why it has like,
I don't know. I mean,
everyone has like a big notebook too. They're not writing on their phone. It's just,
you have a phone, you have apps, but I mean, whatever floats.
Do you use a notebook for your like clients?
For my clients, I use my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, it makes more sense, but like,
yeah.
It's a little old school in that sense.
Yeah, I think so. But the people I've seen with notebooks are mostly like older people, like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70.
Also, I do want to bring up another thing. You did say a little bit earlier that Japanese people tend to, you know, if they're in the gym or lifting, like this is their identity, like this is their thing, you know. And I actually feel like this might be similar to like do you know the word katachi kara hairu?
I've heard about it.
Katachi kara hairu. So it's like the shape.
Literally.
Go in from with the shape.
Right.
So like the shape of doing something. So a lot of people who like start running, maybe they just started running, but they're gonna buy all the running leggings, like the water bottle stuff, like the run gear, the hat, and it's like you just need run. Like, you don't need all this. So that's katachi kara hairu. So like a gym person, they might buy the belt. And then like all this like gym wear, like specifically gym wear, and even though they like just started.
Oh, that's so true, and it's so funny because I think it's just like uneducated people. I mean, gym or fitness is not that open to everyone yet here, and then it's just like they don't really know what they're doing. Sometimes I see people wearing a big belt and bench press or like doing shoulder raise or bicep curls.
Oh, with the belt.
With the belt on. They're just like strapping on and then they start doing bicep curls. I'm like, where is your core at? So yeah, and then the funniest thing I saw was I saw a guy on the treadmill. It was indoors. He was wearing these running sunglasses on the treadmill indoors. With the whole gear.
See, you gotta look the part.
Yeah, you gotta look like you're doing something.
I know.
I think it's also a thing that here people really want to belong to something or someone, or be like have a sense of belonging, because even like Tokyo has a lot of people, they high popularity, but like people feel so lonely here. And I think that's also a way to feel a part of something that's, even though you run alone, you're still like a runner, like you have a little community for yourself, and people really long for that, I think. So they want to show off, oh, look, I'm a runner too, or I lift weights too, or I don't know, I watch anime too.
Right. Which
something like
you
that.
don't.
Which I don't. I wish I did.
You wish you did.
I wish
I mean, we could talk about anime later. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to talk about now because you said something funny. You said you wanted to get into anime because you wanted to go to Comic-Con.
You don't have to out me like
that.
Yeah,
I'm outing you because it's so flipped. Like people are going to be like, oh, she's a faker. But no, you're trying to do it right. You're trying to actually get into it so that you can justify cosplaying.
Yeah, because it would be so fun to dress up as some type of, because they have like these cool outfits and I want to wear that. But if you go to that and you don't know anything about that anime, people will be so jealous.
It's cool now and everything looks cool now, but I mean, was anime ever cool in Sweden? Is like growing up, well, you know what, you didn't watch anime, so
I didn't, so I'm the wrong person.
How would you know? Anyway, that was a little tangent, but I wanted to get back to what we're talking about, which is
belonging to
belonging. Yes, belonging to a company and being lonely in Japan. Have you ever felt you've had this long stint of being lonely or depressed in Tokyo?
Yeah, I think most people go through it. Every non-Japanese, maybe it's also very common among Japanese people, but for foreigner or non-Japanese people, we talk more about, or we talk a lot about mental health. So, and everyone most of my friends are non-Japanese, so we talk a lot about it, and I think everyone have at least once gone through some type of depression or feeling not very well, mentally well in Japan or Tokyo at least.
Do you feel like you were missing something that caused that in your life in Tokyo? Like you were missing some sort of identity or something like that?
I think, yeah, in the beginning, of course, it was super hard to get friends, especially because I tried to get Japanese friends, I think. First, I came when I was 19, and then I went back for a bit. But yeah, officially 19-ish. And then, so yeah, I tried to make friends. And it was a little bit hard because they would always see me as a non-Japanese, as we talked about before. Like, doesn't matter where you're from, or like, if you have some type of foreign blood in you, it's hard to fit in. Or the first question is always, oh, where are you from? Blah, 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 blah. What language do you speak? Why do you speak Japanese?
The first time it's like not a big deal, but after it's like 100 times,
exactly.
You're like,
in the beginning, it's cool. I was like, yeah, I'm Swedish. But after a while, it's like, yeah, I'm Swedish.
Well, because it usually starts out, it's like, yeah, I'm American, or like, yeah, I guess for you Swedish. But then you start to realize like, oh, wait, they forgot that I'm Japanese too, though.
Yeah,
they forgot I'm half Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, like, of course they're curious and they want to know, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if that's a necessary. Sure, you can bring it up sometime, but maybe that's not a necessary question in the first conversation you have. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very hard to get friends, but after a while, I think I found many foreign friends, and then from there I built a little community. That's why most of my friends are non-Japanese.
I see. And you've been here, you said 9 years, since 19.
9 years, yeah.
Right. Okay. So damn, about 10 years ago. That's 2014. Okay, I'm trying to like remember what things were like back then, for people who don't know. But it was, I feel like, what I've noticed, at least, is maybe it's even part of like the YouTube channels like this, or I feel like TikTok, Instagram, people who are making content for Japanese people. There's much more information about like what it's like being foreign, or like hafu or mixed in Japan.
Yeah.
So I feel personally like young people, so like, I don't know, around my age and below, don't ask silly questions from the first meeting anymore. Like, oh, you're hafu. Oh, where did your parents meet? Like,
that's true.
Which one's Japanese? Which one's not? Like, do you like natto?
Do you like natto?
Natto 好きですか? Oh, なんで日本語喋れる? Like, 日本語うまいね. It's like, a lot of that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, you feel?
It's less than usual. Do you have any friends that you hang out with that are just Japanese, don't speak English?
I actually have to think. I don't think so.
So I asked this because I have a friend who's he's from America. He's like, Max, are you just racist against Japanese people?
No,
I'm like, no, it's not. That's not true. It's just I tend to want to hang out with people who are be able to speak both languages.
Yeah, that is true, because also when I say that sometimes people who are only Japanese, they get offended because they think that I don't like them, I have something against them. But it's more that I feel more understood and relate. Like, of course, you want friends, or most people want friends that are alike or that understand you. So just naturally, people who understand me tend to be either Japanese people who have lived abroad, or people who are from abroad, or are half. And that's just like how we connect, I think, and become friends. So it's nothing to do with me not liking. I would love to have a Japanese friend.
Right.
It's just harder.
Yeah, no, I mean, it goes both ways. Yeah. It's almost like if I was to make a friend in the United States, I tend to lean towards people who are interested in like at least like Asian food, or anime, or some sort of Japanese culture. I think most of my friends, even growing up, were somehow into some sort of Japanese culture, or Asian culture, or something. So it goes both ways. It's not like I'm just...
No, it's actually funny because my best friend in Sweden, she is from Hong Kong.
Okay.
So we have like, oh, you're Asian too. Oh, cool. And then we kind of started hanging out, became best friends.
Yeah.
So it's like the same. Doesn't matter where you are.
On a terms of like being able to just hang out and feel very relaxed.
And just be yourself.
And just be myself and not have to put on any type of face. It was just more... it was better to do that with friends who were more like bilingual and speak both, or at least Japanese people who maybe had a international experience and came back,
Right.
and have some English speaking ability, or at least mindset.
But do you feel like you put on a face when you are with Japanese people?
I don't think I put on such a face. Okay, but we can talk about this because obviously when I speak Japanese, and this might be the same for you, is there is a little bit of personality change.
Yeah,
for me,
definitely.
Which I don't like that. I think I really want to be like the same across the board. I don't think I put on a face, but we did talk about this a little bit off camera that we don't know sometimes if we should fit somebody's image of how a foreigner should be, or a hafu or half Japanese person should be, or just be ourselves.
Right. Yeah, it's hard, and also like it's hard to draw a line because sometimes you act or in my opinion or in my thought, I act like a Japanese person to be polite, but then it's like, is this polite or is it just me trying to like fit in? I don't know if it's politeness or fitting inness.
People pleasingness.
People pleasing, yeah.
Oh,
kind
Japan is a country of being people pleasers,
yeah,
though.
and exactly. Don't hurt anyone or don't offend anyone. Yeah.
You can only offend them in your own mind and at home.
You
keep your thoughts to yourself.
I mean, not offend on purpose, of course, but like if I feel like sometimes when I'm too rough or I don't know, not too, people pleasing, then I feel like, yeah, すいません, then I feel ごめんなさい. ちょっと offensive, or I don't know, rude, maybe that's the word.
Yeah, if you don't like bow your head lower sometimes.
Yeah, or speak quietly, I don't know. It might just be in my head because I've been trying to fit in, like when I just came here, I tried to fit in for so long that it kind of just engraved in my head that I have to make myself smaller, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, this may even be like something that is just an age thing. Yeah. I'm not sure. It might even be a Tokyo thing, that people are more like reserved and shy and don't want to stand out. Like, oh, speaking of that, a lot of times somebody might like stumble in the train or like trip and fall and like no one says anything. I'm not like from Tokyo, but the first thing I always do is like, okay, I'll go over. Are you okay? I like give a lending hand. Do you need water or whatever?
Right. Depends on the person. If it's an old person, of course, but if it's a young person, it feels almost like I'm embarrassing them by going up to them.
Oh, so
like
true.
I pretend like, oh, what? You know?
That is so true. That's part of it. Is some people don't want the attention.
Exactly.
And so people look at that and realize she or he probably doesn't want attention, so we'll all just ignore the fact that he fell on the floor.
Kind of laughing.
But basically, I think people who are older and maybe in the countryside, they're much more open, and like I feel like the conversations are less reserved and care about offending people. So I do think some stuff is about Tokyo specific experiences, and also our age range experiences. Whereas sometimes you have you ever been to like Golden Guy or like a bar? And then there's or like meet a snaku mama.
Yeah, snack.
They're not quiet at all.
They don't care. But that's also their job, maybe.
It is, but also I feel like there must be like some age where people stop giving a fuck.
Yeah, or maybe they're from, for example, like if you meet people from Osaka or Okinawa, they're way more open and talkative and like don't care too much about people's eyes on them. I think, I don't know, but also, that's my impression at least.
I do love Okinawa for that fact. I feel more free in Okinawa.
Definitely, me too.
Tokyo, I still try to bring that energy, but sometimes I realize how much I stand out by doing it. Like I always wear flip-flops in the city.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I always wear flip-flops in the city. Yeah, even my friends laugh at me for that, but...
Really?
Yeah.
But it's so comfortable.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, why would you just get sweaty with your socks up?
Thank you. I like the most times I wore flip-flops is probably like in the rain.
Oh.
You're like, I don't do that.
I'm like, I wear 24/7, 365 days.
Oh, wait, you do?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, okay. No, during the rain, because your feet are going to get wet anyway.
Yeah, but in the heat too, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to wear thick sneakers, and sandals are most of the time uncomfortable.
Yeah, flip-flops.
So flip-flops.
Okay, see, we understand the flip-flop culture.
Recommend.
Yes. So we briefly mentioned snakumama, right? I feel like some people might not know what this is, so we probably should explain. We were talking about just a second ago how snakumama are maybe Japanese people that really don't care about other people's thoughts and opinions, and they'll say what they want. And these are like the fun, older, like obasang Japanese characters. So
usually behind the bar, right?
Right. So how do we explain a snakumama? What is a snakumama, or what is a snack bar?
Snack bar I actually don't know that much myself because I don't go that much to snack bars or bars, but I or Japanese bars. But I assume that, or in my what I've seen is more these ladies that serve you drinks and talk to you, like socialize with you. Is that correct? Or is that more?
No, that's right. We should give it a little more context. Okay. It's like usually a small bar, and there's usually like a karaoke machine. Most of the snack mamas are like probably at least in their 40s. They might start earlier, but 40s, 50s, and they're there owning the bar. Maybe they have a couple of staff who are like younger women, but generally they welcome guests who just want to chat, hang out, laugh, drink, and sing a little bit. And I know this because I've been to a couple snack bars.
That was a way better explanation.
Well, I was on a TV show one time where I had to interview a couple snakumama. And one snakumama was literally like, she was, jeez, am I going to tell this story? So yes. 10 years ago, I was on a show called Goji ni Muchu. Goji ni Muchu is kind of like a commentator show, but they're known for being funny because Matsuko Deluxe, a famous celeb, is one of the commentators on there. And they like to commentate. It's almost like YouTube news commentary. So there'll be a news stories and they talk about it. And it goes in all sorts of like funny, sometimes sexual directions. Like the humor is kind of crude. So it's popular for that. But anyway, I had to go commentate and interview a snakumama who was like a ex AV joyu, so like ex adult video actress, and she was really funny. But I just remember like the stuff that she was explaining that she did was all like,
what did like in the bar or did in the past?
No, in the past. I saw she was like telling all the stuff she did in the past on AV. Adult videos, and I was
she
just
has
like,
no shame, just like openly talk around.
Oh no, no shame. It was really funny.
おママ太鼓歌合戦第5幕、本日登場するバスへの歌姫はこちら。それではご覧ください。VTR バスへ。AV は結構出られたんですか？
全部合わすと100本ぐらいは出て。
一番印象に残った作品ってありますか？
世界の猿靴は。出身は錦糸町で中学生くらいからは程よく不良、年をごまかしてねバイトもしてたし校内暴力とかそんな感じ。あとは初体験は裏に組事務所があってそこのなんかブローカー的な親父みたいなであそこにいっぱい入ってて歯ブラシの絵あとは木相関もの
Oh my god
義母役です
I'm pretty sure not all snack mom are like that, but
yeah, I mean everyone are different, but one thing in common is that they're very chatty and fun.
Yes, exactly. So that's why I know what a snack mom is.
I see.
And she sang karaoke with me.
Oh, was it fun?
I feel like I was just like, why am I here? Why am I doing this show?
Imposter syndrome.
Japanese TV. You were a model, right?
Yeah.
Like, were you ever like TV?
No, I'm too shy for that, actually. I used to have like major social anxiety. So
okay.
This is a big
deal.
Now I'm not used to it, but now I can handle it because I practice. But before like like one camera, I would be like, "Ah."
Wait, what's your have you ever taken the personality test?
Oh yeah, but I don't know that.
You don't know what it is?
personality. I forgot. I have it somewhere in my phone.
Okay.
But it's introvert deluxe.
Introvert deluxe. For people listening, usually Japan's like personality test, the way people were doing it for a long time, is by blood type. So this is another topic, but Japanese people, almost all Japanese people know what their blood type is.
Yeah.
Because the blood type gives you insight on what your personality is like, even though there's only 4.
It's a big thing.
So do you know you're O, right?
Yeah.
I'm B. There's A, B, O, and B, right?
Yeah. Right.
And for some reason, this became the way. It's not horoscopes. It's not your star sign. It's not what is it? MBTI thing. It's it's been blood type for the longest time. So to give you a quick rundown, I feel like O is known to be like the most carefree.
Okay.
B is like kind of like O in carefreeness, but more like on the creative side, and they're very like my pace, meaning they pace themselves the way they want. A is more like literally type A, as you've heard it, where it's like more organized and want things to be OCD, I guess you could say. And then AB is like a mix of A and B somehow, and is like the most confusing because they flip-flop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still don't know what is what.
I
still don't know what O means, and I still don't know. I just know my blood type, and
did people ask you when you first came here all the time?
All the time. Like I used to work for a Japanese company, and they were like, if I said something, oh, let's do this, they were like, oh, what's your blood type? And that was such a weird question. I was like, huh? Like what?
What's your blood type?
Out of nowhere, and then they started explaining. I was like, oh, okay, it's like zodiac sign.
Yeah, it's basically like a zodiac sign. Now, I don't know. Is there any science behind this? I don't know. I'm sure that it feels like there could be.
It's probably something based
like
on.
Somehow your blood affects the way it runs through your body, which might cause some effect. I'm not a scientist. We should ask Andrew Huberman, maybe.
Oh, yeah, let's invite him.
He's too smart for my... Andrew Huberman would be good, but... yeah, so anyway, we talked about being mixed Japanese, identity, fitness culture. I guess I wanted to just talk a little bit about food in Japan. A lot of people say Japanese food is generally healthy. What do you think about this? Like, why is that? And do you really think Japanese food is healthy, or do you have struggles buying the food that you want to buy here?
I think it's generally healthy, but there's also so easy to not eat healthy. I mean, there's ramen joints everywhere, there's fast food chains everywhere, and if you want to eat like a salad or a salad bowl or whatever, that's more Western balanced diet, as I would call it, it's way more expensive. So if you want to eat, I don't know, like we have natto and tofu and all that things, rice, it's very suited for Japanese bodies maybe. But me personally, I love like vegetables and bowls and I don't know, like those type of things, and it's way harder. It's became more accessible now, but also I'm like, for example, pescatarian, and it's harder to find. Like the reason I don't want to switch to vegan is also because it's so hard to find vegan food here. And for example,
it's difficult, right?
It's so difficult, and but I would say it's generally healthy, but I also think the reason people are so thin, or I'm pretty much sure that the reason, especially women here, are so thin is because of the the beauty standards that they have. So like just a fact, I think women, what was it? A study in, I don't even gonna mention the study, but there was a study made that women in the 20s here in Japan are. But 21% of the women in the 20s here are underweight, which is BMI under 18.5.
Wow, 21%.
21%. That's a lot. That's like 3 to 4 times higher than the West. 21% of women in the 20s. And then I think it was 10% of women in the 20 to 30s are underweight. 10%, which is 3 to 4 times more than the West or the developed countries. most of the people, they don't want to change it. There was a survey that they passed around. 70% they don't want to gain weight just to become healthy because it's so important for them to be thin.
Was the question even asked like to become healthy?
Yeah.
Would you gain more weight or something?
Yeah. Would you surpass the BMI 80.5? 70% said no, because being thin and beautiful is way more important than being healthy for many people, which is terrible and very, very sad.
It is, because you could still gain weight and be beautiful.
Yeah, of course. But that's also like, for example, the idols here in Japan are maybe Korean singers or Korean, what is it called? Korean idols?
Yeah, K-pop idols.
K-pop idols. I am so out. And they're very, very thin. Whereas in the West, maybe it's more the curvy girls, like, I don't know, Kim Kardashian or something. So it's more normalized to have some mass on. I think it affects a lot.
I have noticed that also kind of changing, at least in the way, like for like fitness for women. Don't like what is it? Merihari
body.
Yeah, what Merihari is like a girl's kind of like natural curves body, right? Can you explain this?
I think so. I'm actually not sure about that.
Okay.
But about that word, but I think so. That it's like have some, look a little bit healthy, look powerful, like how do you say, feminine, but in a healthy way.
Yeah, that I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Merihari. But I would say like also just talking about the food in Japan and like healthy food. I try to cook for myself. And I think that's the best way. But I did see this at 7-Eleven. I was kind of surprised. Recently, 7-Eleven started selling kind of like meal prep meals more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, look, they even got like a chicken and broccoli microwave.
Such a bro style.
It's very... Yes, it's a gym bro. It's a very gym bro style. I mean, you also got what? Gyu karubiyaki.
Oh, I've seen that one before.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's just like a whole bunch, right?
Ah.
Very gym bro to see chicken.
Yeah. And broccoli.
Chicken breast and broccoli. The thing is, it still probably has preservatives. It probably does not taste that good.
Yeah.
But I was still surprised to see like, they're catching on to... They must have done some sort of market research at 7-Eleven and found out that people want to buy these types of like healthier
That's
food.
true. I think because I heard a lot of people also complain about healthy food or like fitness food not being so available, like easily. Like in Conbini, it's easy. Like Conbini is so convenient, but it's so hard to buy healthy food. So maybe that was like, okay, here we go.
Well, what do you do if you're like in a pinch and you want to buy healthy food and eat it like to go or out, not at home?
If I buy from convenience store, I buy a bunch of peanuts, I buy an onigiri, I buy a protein bar. Of course, not the healthiest, but it keeps the, how do you say, the macronutrients kind of leveled out.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Those are the three. So to maintain your fitness level, you're recommending Conbinis.
I don't recommend Conbini.
Which Conbini? Which Conbini?
Oh, which Conbini? My favorite Conbini?
Yeah, what's your favorite Conbini?
It depends on the thing I buy. Onigiri, Famima is the best for sake onigiri. Peanuts, 7-Eleven is the best. And protein bar is the same in every, like they have the same brand.
Okay, what about Lawson?
Oh, Lawson. Lawson is the best for tsunamayo onigiri.
Wow.
Wahoo tsunamayo.
Specific.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the healthiest food. It's just my treat.
Who has the best coffee?
Lawson.
Wow, that was quick.
7-Eleven used to have a very good coffee, but they changed it, so now Famima is better than 7.
Really? You think Family Mart is better than 7?
In coffee now.
What?
Because 7-Eleven...
I felt like Family Mart was the worst.
It used to be the worst, but they changed it. I don't know, they changed the coffee beans.
So we're going Lawson, 7-Eleven, Family Mart. Oh, sorry. Lawson, Family Mart, 7-Eleven.
Yeah. 7-Eleven and Family Mart maybe same.
What about Daily Yamazaki?
Now we're going too far.
No. Everyone's like,
I don't know, bread
Daily.
Or something?
Yeah, it's the bread.
That's the
Daily
bread.
Yamazaki has the best bread. You know,
they do have good bread.
This is a random tangent, but I went to Myoko for snowboarding, and they didn't have Daily Yamazaki. They just had Yamazaki.
Oh, no. What's the difference?
I guess it's not every day.
Just once a week.
Literally, it was called Yamazaki.
Okay. It's the same like...
No, it was... I'm pretty sure it was the same. It was yellow,
Ah.
but it wasn't daily.
Maybe it was like something... You know how lost or how all the Conbini in the countryside are brown? Maybe it's
They're not all brown, but yes, I do know
many
what
of
you're
them.
mean. Yeah.
Right. Maybe it's some type of like... I don't know.
Rebrand.
Rebrand.
Yeah, Yamazaki. I was laughing
Yeah.
my ass off because I was like, guys, it's not daily here. It's just some days.
Sorry. Can't do it. I ate it yesterday. Have to wait until tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, actually,
true.
I do struggle finding like, I was doing this the other day. I was trying to find like cheap, protein heavy fitness food.
Right.
You know, and I should know this by now that it's not
Yeah.
really available. But in my head, I'm like, maybe now they have something. So I was like Googling like sandwich shops or something. But it's almost not, it's just not a thing. Like you can't buy like a deli meat sandwich very easily.
Right.
Or going to a supermarket. I don't know about in Sweden, but at least in the US, if you go to a supermarket, there's usually somebody who makes sandwiches behind like a there's like a sandwich bar area.
Right.
Or like a sub bar. So you can get kind of hot or cold cuts
Right.
and they'll make it for you, but Japan just doesn't have that. So
Actually, that's true.
I'm sad all the
And
time.
also, yeah, and also in every shop, there's also like high protein something something. If you want, I don't know, like a high protein sandwich, high protein drink, a high protein yogurt. But here it's very hard to find the high protein versions. Of course, it's not too good to have like extra protein everything, but it helps as us like fitness enthusiasts to get some grams in.
Just some grams. Get those macros in.
Get the macros in.
Bro. Wait, so if you're, well, damn, you know what? Oh yeah, weren't we trying to get you on the pull-up bar?
Oh no.
How many pull-ups can you do?
Oh, not that many. I actually just trained back.
You're trying to get out of this, aren't you?
Yeah.
No, like I have this very rickety pull-up bar over there that I always use, but yeah, somebody else has done that actually.
Really?
She did like 10.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow, I can't do 10.
Are you not competitive?
I mean, because I know I can't do 10.
What is something in a Japanese supermarket that you're just like so happy that they have?
Onigiri.
Onigiri. It's onigiri.
I love onigiri.
Is it like the pre-packaged one or like
Any onigiri.
any onigiri?
Yeah.
You know that song Onigiri by Aoyama Teruma?
What,
Just
how
like,
does his son sing it?
Onigiri. Onigiri. I got my. Oh, you don't know the song?
Maybe.
I'll put it. Hold on. You know,
Yeah, put
no,
it.
the thing is, it's old-ish,
Okay.
like 5-6 years old.
Okay.
And I was like, she needs to re-release it because, do you know Aoyama Teruma?
Maybe if I
She's
hear
a-
it. I'm so bad with Japanese artists.
She went to my school actually.
Oh, really?
Shout out to Aoyama Teruma. She's, I've never met her, but she's mixed Japanese and yeah, this song.
Wait, I recognize this girl though. No, I've never heard this song.
She needs, it's just about onigiri.
They should have it in the Conbini.
The show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 6 years old though. So
cute.
it was like kind of pre-TikTok.
I don't know where where did you hear it? It's so
This song?
random. Yeah.
I think I was just looking up her songs lately. Because, I mean, she's a big singer here.
Right.
So I was just looking up. I was like, what is this onigiri song?
I've never heard it actually.
But it's so true. Like, onigiri is one of the best foods here.
Yeah.
Have you been to the onigiri shop that has... So for people listening, there's this onigiri shop that always has like a line of like 3 or 4 hours.
No.
And it's in Tokyo. And apparently they're very good, but I've obviously never had the patience to wait 3 or 4 hours for one onigiri.
They tend to line up a lot here, right?
Well, yes, they do line up a lot. But
No, I don't know what
you
that
know,
is.
so Japanese people, and I'm sure a lot of people know this, like, yeah, they line up a lot, wait in lines. I've done the bad thing, or not the bad thing. I've tried to avoid a line before and go somewhere where there's no line to get food from like a stand or whatever. And it was like the worst food. So,
Yeah, so apparently there's a reason they're
so I was like, okay, like they're right for lining up. I'm wrong for being impatient.
Have you heard about the donut shop or seen it? Or maybe you've been there. There's a donut shop in, I think there's one in Omotesando or something. There's one in Harajuku. It's
I
a
like good
very
donuts.
famous donut shop.
No.
And everyone are lining up there. Like it's hours wait, same as the onigiri shop. Hours wait, and then after like a few hours, if you go there in the afternoon, it's sold out, so it's closed.
Oh my god.
Once I went there, I was like, oh, there's no line. So I went there and I was like, finally, I'm gonna try it.
Right.
Of course, it was sold out. That's why there was no line.
You know the funny thing about this is once again my American friend, American mindset. He was like, if it's so popular, why don't they just like have more?
I know.
And they can make more money.
I know.
And,
that's the hype, though. They want the line.
Right, and I was like, that's not the philosophy.
He doesn't understand.
You don't
Americans.
understand. They're not trying to make money.
Exactly. They're trying to gain fame.
Yeah, it's not about making money. It's about just making good product.
Exactly.
That's a very Japanese mindset. And there's also like, do you know the have you seen that video of people making mochi and it's like two guys like going really quick?
Oh yeah.
It's like hi.
Yeah.
So that's in Nara, and they make yomogi mochi. That's yomogi mochi. And I went, and the same thing happened where it's like 1 p.m. So peak time for tourists. And they're like, we're out of yomogi mochi. We're all out.
Just for Japanese people.
Right. And my friend was like, why don't they just make more?
Yeah.
This is so popular.
They must have enough, right?
It's only half a day done. They could make more. They ended up like coming back, I feel like hours later to make more. But it was just like.
Maybe they just wanted a break from the hi.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean. Yeah, I'm sure it tastes better because it's handmade.
Yeah.
I understand the philosophy aspect of
I
it as
guess.
well. Like, you got to do it the right way, not the most maximized profit way.
Yeah, it's
The American way is
over quantity.
American way is maximize profit.
Yeah, that's true.
Maximize.
That's
Just
true.
churn out. We need a Walmart on every single corner. We have
Yeah, I know.
5,000 locations. 5,000 locations. Japan's
But that's like the Japanese Conbini.
yeah, Japan.
It's everywhere.
Right. Japan.
But
One
yeah.
location.
One location and everyone stands.
Everyone stands
Who
in
wants to
one-
line up when you're hungry? Like if I'm hungry, I'm not gonna line up for 4
Well,
hours.
based off my past experience, the line is a sign that you won't be disappointed in the food.
Right. So
and-
it's worth the 4 hour wait.
Not 4 hours.
Yeah, right.
Like, let's be real. 4
1
hours is
hour,
insane.
maybe.
1 hour, maybe. But the lines at Ichiran, that's what blows me
Oh,
my
yeah.
mind the most. Ichiran ramen is the worst. Okay, it's not the worst, but it's not that good. And it's always lined up.
Yeah.
But I also don't want tourists to know that it's not that good so that they keep going to
Alright.
Ichiran.
They're only going because it's hyped, right?
It's all over, social media that
Yeah.
it's like good. But the only thing that's good about it, I think, is what it's like it's like closed off, right?
Actually, never been.
Because
I'm
the
not
line's too long.
I'm not a fan of ramen.
Yeah, so people listening, Ichiran Ramen, if you've never heard or seen it, it's just it's kind of like an introvert's paradise. I think that's why people like it.
Oh, I've seen it on social media.
Right, there's like blinds
Yeah.
and then people will come give you the ramen through a window so
Right.
you don't have to like interact with anybody.
Ah,
So-
that's what it is.
Yes. But the ramen is not that good. It's not bad. It's probably better than like something I could get in the United States,
Right.
but that's like a low bar.
Yeah.
So that's Ichiran ramen.
They're just going for the hype.
Yes, so
that's
tourists
fair.
can go there. But
Yeah.
anyway, if you're
Don't
if-
share this.
right, I don't know.
Too late.
If you're actually gonna, okay, I will not gatekeep my audience.
Okay.
If you're actually trying to go get ramen, just search ramen in Japanese on Google Maps and go to anything that isn't Ichiran, and you'll be happy.
Wow.
It's actually a great,
You really dislike it.
Well, it's fun. You know what?
But you go for the experience.
Yes, you can go for the experience. One time for the experience. Try not to wait in line hours. It's always lined up. That's my recommendation. Anyway, it's been an hour and 10 minutes of talking. I think we should
wow.
probably wrap things up
Okay.
now. Is there anything else you want to let people know? How people can find you? Are you still taking on new clients for personal training?
I am. Go to my website or maybe check my Instagram. There's my website there, Lion Lifts. My website. I should have just out my website.
Yeah.
Is
Give
it-
your shameless plugs.
My shameless plug, www.lionlifts.com.
All right. Anything else?
I'm good.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Yeah, thanks for being
Super
here.
fun.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigatou
And we'll see you
gozaimasu.
guys in the next episode. Arigatou.
ありがとう。